Coach, Ty Wilson from Commonwealth Times. You talked about how this game was.
No, you want me to do that?
You talked about how this game was about from all the way from the last game last season. How were you able to kind of take what you learned from last season in its entirety at VCU and bring it into this season for the new players and the players coming back to instill in them to prepare for this big moment?
I mean, I really didn't have to do much. I mean, they felt the emotion of that, last year. The guys that decided to come back and play another season that had COVID years, obviously Max, they sat in that locker room after that game, and it was hard to recover from that. We ended up going to the NIT, and the mood, certainly wasn't what everybody wanted, and had worked for. We'd had a hard year. We'd had a lot of injuries. We'd had, stuff that we had to deal with, that particular season that was just a little bit odd. And once we finally got it going and we were right there, to win it, we had a really bad half. And that first half, I don't think any of us going into that game felt like, we felt like we were meant to be there. And we had gone through all of these struggles, over the course of that season, and had continued to fight, and continued to fight, and continued to fight, and we felt we were kind of destined to do it. And Duquesne and Coach Dambrot and their team had other plans, and they came out and played a great game, and did a wonderful job down the stretch of that game to come out with a victory. And our guys were determined in this season to not let that happen again, and to have a fabulous year, and to play every game like it's your last, and practice and prepare in the right way. And so we have a very mature group, and one that is very coachable and listens, but more importantly, they really care about one another. They love one another, and so they're very connected. And you can see that in the celebrations. You can see that on the court. There's certainly times where we don't all agree in what's going on, and we all have to agree to let something go, and that's the true team. And it's not going to be Max's night every night, and or Joe's night every night. We need an entire group, to step up. And I thought you saw that, throughout the tournament. Jack obviously was most outstanding player, but there were other key players. Michael Bell came in again, in this game and made a big impact, at a key time. We were in foul trouble. We had played that lineup all year. Michael and Jack at 3 and 4 in the center, and 2 guards. We hadn't done that, really. And, they performed well, in that moment.
Goes third row on your left.
Jay Kopic, Big Five Podcast. Coach, for you, this is the third program that you've taken to the NCAA tournament, and each time you've done that, it's been the second year that you've been at these places. So to do it at different programs and do it so quickly, how does that happen?
Yeah, it's the players, it's the players and the hard work of the staff that I'm fortunate enough to work with. It's the administration, it's their vision. Obviously this place is used to winning, and the expectations are to win. Utah State was the same. You go in there and you walk into the locker rooms of these places, and you see, on the wall, the list of all the NCAA tournament years, right? And how far did they advance in that particular year? It's easy to see when you walk into BDC and you see that Final Four from 2011, and you see all the championships and regular season championships and conference championships on the wall and NCAA tournaments. And this group was determined, the last time that, VCU had missed consecutive years was 2004. And so this team did not want to be that team, the first to do that. And so every day we walked in, we would look up at that wall, remind them when they weren't feeling great about practice or whatever, right, well, you know what you're working for. All right, and you want to put your own stamp on this program, and you can do that because this is a special team. I mean, you look at the metrics and the numbers of this team. It's one of the best A10 teams, like in a long time. from a numbers perspective. And any team can be beaten, and we were. We were beaten on the last regular season game against Dayton, but really proud of the entire group. Because it's when you watch it on TV or you come to the Siegel and you just see the players playing, and a lot of the head coaches around the country, they get a lot of the credit, but it's all the people that are involved in the program on a day-to-day basis that put in the work for these kids to have the success that they so desire.